What's going on, everybody? Project Rod here, and welcome to the Rodcast, the Monster Truck Fanatic podcast, which is your ultimate destination for all things monster trucks. Whether you're a die-hard Monster Jam fan, a passionate follower of the sport, or just an avid player of the Monster Jam or Monster Truck-related video games, this is the podcast for you. Once again, I'm your host, Project Rod, and we are on episode 13, lucky number 13, already going into that 4-month mark of doing this. And again, guys, I've had a lot of fun. I've had just tons of good feedback, and just overall it's just been a great experience, and I've really been enjoying it. And today we do have finally a special guest. We have Tripp Racing, who will be joining us today. Tommy Tripp, a great guy, an awesome guy. Be sure to check him out and show him some love. And before we get to that conversation, we'll go ahead and knock some stuff out. And really, there's nothing too much to talk on right now. Given that the Steel Titans 2 series is done, we are still working on the All-Star Challenge to get that out as soon as possible. Just waiting on a couple of other submissions, then we can get editing going and get that out and ready for everybody to watch. So looking forward to that, as well as the Showdown League. Again, just waiting on a few people. There might have to be some replacements made. I'm not sure. It's kind of up in the air right now. But we may have to push the date back maybe another week to give people some more time before we get that together and get editing going and out the gate for that. Super excited. Can't wait. Again, going to have a lot of people. This time is going to be 24 people joining in, and just very excited to see what's going to happen. It's going to be a great time. And yeah, just super stoked. Really, the only news in Monster Jam this week that really stood out was they have a partnership, a new partnership with Northern Tool, if I'm not mistaken. And really what stood out to me the most from this is that there's going to be a project truck with a local high school in Texas that's going to be presented at in Austin, Texas, at the event at the Moody Center on June 7th, 2025. So just to kind of go over this article really quick is, again, Northern Tool Plus Equipment and Monster Jam announced on Tuesday that they're teaming up for a 3-year partnership that's going to include retail business-to-business and online integration. So I'm guessing some kind of collaboration, maybe some Monster Jam themed tools or something, or maybe a Northern Tool themed truck. Maybe that's who's going to be. That's what we're going to see. Bryce Kenny or Camden Murphy drive for the 2025 season. Maybe they have something in the works, and they're going to be one of the drivers, because as of now they are considered TBD or to be determined on the kind of truck they're driving. So maybe that's something that they're doing. A lot of speculation here, and that'd be kind of pretty exciting to see. But again, the partnership includes becoming the official hardware retailer of tools and related equipment partner for Monster Jam, and the announcement of the Monster Jam garage outfitted by Northern Tool and Equipment. It is also highlighted by never been done hands-on experience to inspire high school students to pursue careers in skilled trades. The Tools for Trades Monster Jam mini build. And again, it's going to be a local high school for them. If I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I don't think it speaks to what high school it will be. I'm trying to skim through this really quick, and I don't really see, but it looks like that throughout the school year, that school will receive mentorship from the Monster Jam Vice President of Fleet Operations and Development, Bill Easterly, Monster Jam World Finals Champion Crew Chief Shelby Fisher, and several special Monster Jam guests will be helping him out. And again, this truck will be revealed in Austin, Texas during Monster Jam's event at the Moody Center on June 7th, 2025. And actually, look at this right here. It's going to be Bryan High School, and this is a quote from Chris Lead, who is the welding instructor there, and he says that we can't wait to get started on this build. The fact that Northern Tool and Monster Jam are willing to gift my students and classroom with tools, equipment, and a once-in-a-lifetime experience and mentorship is incredible, and we are grateful to be a part of it. So huge news for them, and an amazing experience for these students at Bryan High School. I would love for that to happen to me when I was in high school. So definitely once in a lifetime opportunity, and I'm really looking forward to what their mini build will be. And if you want to check it out, there are some more information that I didn't really cover on right now on the Monster Jam website. It was announced again earlier this week on September 18th was announced. So other than that, other news is just the Monster Jam Halloween exclusive is now available on the Superstore. Not the craziest thing. I've seen a lot of very mixed reviews on this. Not a lot of people are a huge fan of it. I personally think it's a little odd. It's kind of like a black cat kind of build with a Gravedigger green chassis and green beadlocks. Not a huge fan, but some people like it, some people enjoy it, that will get it. And other than that, that's all I got for Monster Jam news and really any other news regarding my channel. Again, just going to throw out a W plug out there before we start the conversation. Again, be better with W Energy. Zero calories, no caffeine, no jitters, no crash. It's great stuff. If you're unsure, try the sampler pack. It comes with 3 flavors, which is usually Galaxy Grenade, Peach and Peach, and Dragonade. And they also have a Hydro sampler pack. So Hydro isn't really an energy-based drink. It's more so like a Gatorade, if you will. It has hydration. It gives you hydration, and it has electrolytes and some amazing flavors, and it's caffeine free. They have a sampler pack for that on the W website, w.gg. That comes with 6 caffeine free sampler packs, and the 2 flavors are, I'm trying to get it figured out right now. I'm looking at the picture though. It's strawberry pineapple, and the other one is watermelon and lemon. So watermelon chata, watermelon lemonade, and pine berry splash, which is strawberry pineapple. So there you go, those are the names. You get 3 of each, and it comes with a shaker cup. So again, if you're unsure on buying a tub, at least try the sampler pack. Again, use code Project Rod to receive 10% off of your W Energy order. Be better with W Energy, guys. And with that, we'll go ahead and start our conversation with Tripp Racing. All right, so for today's guest, we have a very talented Beamng skin designer, as well as a driver. It's Tripp Racing. So, Tripp, how you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How are you today?
Oh, dude, I'm great. It's good to have a guest again, and it's good to have you on the podcast. I don't know if you remember, what was it, back in July or so, a few months ago, you had helped me test this whole recording thing. We had a good conversation then. I believe Ant99 joined us too, and we all just had a good chat going on. But you were one of the ones that did help me out and help me get started and figure this whole thing out. So it's good to finally have you on.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I do remember all that. It was a good conversation. We were on there for quite a while actually.
Yeah. It was a good late night conversation.
I'm finally glad to get free enough to get on to your podcast.
Yeah, we both have some pretty busy schedules. I know I meant to get you on a while back, and I just got sidetracked. It's always something coming up. If it's not the channel, it's personal life, and everything always gets in the way. But we find time, and it's good to finally have you on. So, but we'll go ahead and get started. And right off the bat, I mean, what is it that initially drew you to Monster Jam, or just monster trucks as a whole?
Well, when I was a kid, I really got drawn into the monster truck scene. My family's very motorsports orientated, and I always liked bigger and better things in my life. And back in like 2015, I started watching YouTube a lot, and I was watching a lot of the Beam stuff, and I got really interested in it. Well, then I kind of fell off in about 2017, and within the last 4 years, I started up watching it again, and found out they had monster trucks on Beamng now. And I was like, oh wow, I'd like to get into that. I mean, never thought I would, ever get to go on to actually drive a monster truck. I was like, well, it's the next best thing. So,
right.
Well, I started watching it and bought myself a computer, and I had joined a league at the time, was MTN, and did pretty well over there, won a grand championship in freestyle. And then I saw everyone's like custom trucks and stuff, and it blew up from there. So
yeah, no, and I mean, I believe it. I believe you winning a freestyle championship because, for those of you listening, if you haven't seen it yet, we do have a collaboration video, but I've also put out a few of your clips on my socials and stuff. And I mean, the things you come up with, dude, it baffles me because I could never. If I ever do it, it's by accident, and it seems like you just have it pretty well down, or whatever the saying is. But I mean, you got it. And we do have another one here coming up soon. Again, for those of you listening, we have another collaboration with Tripp and Angel Garcia. We're having another video here coming out pretty soon, hopefully this week. If I can get the editing down and the commentary down in time. But man, I believe it. Again, you are very talented. A skin designer and a very talented driver when it comes to Beam, and seems like you got somewhat of a similar timeline to me. I know back in, I've always been a Monster Jam fan. Ever since I was little, I was in diapers going to shows, and about 2014, 2015, I decided to actually, expand on that. Did the socials, did YouTube and all that, and 2017 is about the time I fell off as well. But here recently, I started, picking that back up, and here we are. But yeah, I always wanted to play Beam, and I actually just started earlier this year because I finally got a PC that was strong enough to run it and all the mods and stuff. So I'm not as creative as you are, so I don't see myself ever really being able to make any kind of custom skin or anything for a truck. I'm very basic. Back when I did YouTube, forever ago, I did those diecast races, and I did a custom channel truck, and it was the simplest, just white paint all the way around with my then logo was just P2R for Project Rod because it was, my thought process behind that was there was 2 rods, so P2R, whatever. It was, a horrible thought process. Again, I'm not that creative. And that was it. That's all I had. So if I were to ever even come close to ever making a skin, that would be as creative as I'm gonna get. So I mean, again, a huge shout out to you and what you do, and throughout this, I'm sure I'll throw up a few pictures of the trucks that you've shared with us on the Discord, and there's some amazing ones, but we'll get to that here in a little while. But I guess what's your most memorable moment when it comes to Monster Jam or Monster Trucks, or if you've been to an event, like what's something that's always stuck out to you?
Well, here recently, it was like 2 years ago, I should say. That wouldn't be so recent, but about 2 years ago, I started going to a Monster Truck shows. I haven't went to a Monster Jam event. I really want to go. I haven't went to one yet, but possibility maybe this year I might be able to get to go to one. But I've been to a lot of independent shows here in Kansas, and they had I can't remember his name. I think it was Sheriff when he was in the F-150 body.
Yep.
And they had him over here in Salina, Kansas, and he went to do a Paxton popper, and it freaking rolled over backwards and popped tire off the bead and destroyed the body up a little bit, which was nice. I mean, I hadn't got to see any of the new style of Monster Jam in person yet, or any type of anything like that. So it was kind of nice to see, and it was, it made me like, man, I want to make sure I go to every one of these that pop into our state. And so far I have, and hopefully maybe I get to go to the 2 Extreme one that's getting ready to go on in Seward County, Kansas. So see the new pencil chassis, Bounty Hunter and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I've always wanted to go to those independent shows. I've only been to one, and it was called Monster Nation, and I think it's only in Texas and Louisiana, if I'm not mistaken. And it was a really good show, 6 trucks. I believe I have the footage on my channel. I don't know if I ever, I went and I privated every single video of my past just from cringiness. It took me a long time to get somewhat decent at commentary and stuff, and even then I feel like I need a lot of work. But I mean, listening to my stuff of the past is just so cringe, but I didn't want to delete the videos, so there's quite a few, or majority of all my old videos are set to private, but I think that one is not. And it was a really good show. Bigfoot was there. There was what was it? I think we talked about this when we were getting this whole setup deal. I think I screen shared a few videos.
Yeah. You did.
Yeah.
I remember that now.
Yeah. So that was the only show that I and I'll try to put some of that footage in this too. At least for those watching on YouTube. I don't think Spotify lets me do that, but that's really the only independent show I've ever been to. And I was thinking about going this year. I missed it. Maybe next year, 2025. I think they already set out some dates for it. So might try to go to that, but there's not a lot of independents around me. What's another one? Monster Truck Wars is, I believe that's another one. That one I believe is coming to Conroe, Texas, which is hour and a half away. So I've thought about going. I think that one has What's that guy? I believe his last name was Harper. Oh, Outlaw. Is that the right truck?
Yeah, Outlaw.
Yeah.
Outlaw.
He used to drive in Monster Jam. Oh man, I loved when he drove in Monster Jam, and his theme song was "Outlaw Torn" by Metallica.
Oh, nice.
Which was one of my favorite songs. It was just so perfect. And he was a great driver, and I really wish he would have stayed. But it is what it is. I'm sure there was some kind of contract conversation behind that. But yeah, we don't get a lot of independents around here, and if I do, or at least in Texas, they're so far away. So it's like it's not really worth it for me, really, to drive that far to go. But I would love to go to more independents. Luckily I'm not too far from Houston, so I'm able to go to those shows. But I guess, do they not have, or is there not really a lot of Monster Jam shows around you?
Well, the closest one for me is up in Arrowhead Stadium, in Kansas City, Missouri. I'd be about the closest Monster Jam event that I could get to, which I'm probably going to go this year. And if not, the next closest one is in Denver, Colorado, which is like 6 hours away.
Oh, wow.
Honestly, I could take a couple day vacation and just zip on up to Denver and,
there you go,
have it out over there. But I don't know. Last year, I almost went this past year for the one in Denver, but it got rained and it was really muddy, and I was like, don't know about that one. I mean, I'd rather like to see them when it's dry and actually get to see all the cool tricks and stuff.
Yeah, those muddy shows are cool, but they're just so limited and they're just sliding all over the place.
Yeah.
So I would definitely like to see one, but at the same time, it's like, well, do you really get that much of a show out of it? They can't do the backflips, they can't, get the right traction to do, the poppers and the moonwalks and sidewalls and all that. So definitely one that would be interesting to see, but I think I'd be okay, just watching clips of it and stuff. But I guess when it comes to all the drivers and the trucks and stuff, be it independent or in Monster Jam, who do you have a favorite truck or driver that stands out to you?
I ain't gonna lie, my favorite truck's gonna be Sheriff, because I like it when Mercury body, man.
Yeah.
That thing looks sick. It actually gives me like Doc Holliday, like the Doc on the Cars theme.
Oh yeah,
kind of gives me that kind of a vibe. So I mean, I like it a lot. I like that one. I actually like a couple of them. Him and Outlaw are probably my top two favorite independents out of all of them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I've seen him personally.
Yeah. And when you said Outlaw earlier, the only thing I could see was that old Mercury body. I don't know if I remember the would you say an F-150 body?
Yeah, it was for Sheriff. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember. I might have seen maybe some clips or pictures of it, but the one that stands out the most is that older Mercury body.
Mm-hmm.
But independence, I mean, I'm trying to think back, and like I said, I've only been to one fully, I guess, independent show. Obviously there's independents in Monster Jam now, so I can't really say, I don't have an independent. I haven't really seen that many, but that's kind of tough. I mean, they're all pretty good in itself, and if I want to stray away from Monster Jam, and I don't remember who was the one driving, and I don't want to be kind of basic with my answer, but Bigfoot was at that Monster Nation show, and I mean, he put on a hell of a show. I mean, he was the gravedigger of that show, and I mean, that again, I don't know who was driving, but it was an amazing freestyle, an amazing event overall. And what else? He had like a Raptor body, like a F-150 Raptor body on that one.
Oh, nice.
So not a big fan of the Raptor body. Like, it's cool, but I don't know. I like the bigger, fuller looking bodies on the trucks, especially with Bigfoot, and you can't go wrong with that old, that old original Bigfoot body, or even like the F-150, F-250 body on Bigfoot.
Yeah.
But I think, I mean, even way back, and I'm jumping back into Monster Jam, I would say Scott Hartsock, may he rest in peace. If I'm not mistaken, he was an independent as well. I mean, he was great. I met him, when I was like 10 at a Monster Jam event, and I have a picture with him. And I mean, he was fantastic. I loved Scott Hartsock, and I loved Gunslinger. So all in all, I guess that's kind of where I would be with this answer. Again, kind of basic, but I was raised more so around Monster Jam. So let's see, moving on, I guess, you really been to you've been more so to independent shows, but I guess even with independent shows, or with Monster Jam, but what would you like to see in the future with the sport as a whole?
I think honestly, right now the sport's growing rapidly. I mean, from the last 3 years, I've seen a lot of growth and a lot of like even for the independents, like the skill wise, their skill level's starting to increase a lot, and that's amazing, honestly, to me. And it just gives the vibe that maybe in the future they'll start collabing more with Monster Jam, and maybe, I mean, 'cause I think it'll bring more money, really. I mean, in the long run, I mean, I know it's all about money with Monster Jam, but the fans, they like their regular people, they like their independents, they know who they like, and if you don't show them what they want, then they're not gonna want to show up, you know. I mean,
for sure, and I feel like they really should collab with more independents. I mean, I know a conversation, and they competed back in the 90s, Bigfoot and Gravedigger. But I mean, if you were to bring that back, and obviously there's more independents out there, but the big one, or one of the big questions, is always, Bigfoot, and why isn't Bigfoot in Monster Jam, and why doesn't Bigfoot compete with these guys and all that? And I feel like bringing at least, Bigfoot along with all the other independents, bringing them in, I feel like that would bring a huge crowd and a lot of interest, and they would both benefit a lot from it. I'm sure Monster Jam has their own rules and their own qualifications and stuff. They've themselves have changed a lot in the past 10 or so years with how they run everything and how they treat everything. But I don't know. I feel like if they really got together, I mean, even if it was a temporary thing, doesn't have to be permanent.
No,
it would definitely bring a lot of attention to not only Monster Jam, but to the independents and to the independent shows, and just as a whole. I mean, it would make the sport that much bigger, I feel. And I was watching a video on YouTube maybe about last week or so. Kind of had it playing on the background, and it was about Major League of Monster Trucks. It was a independent years ago that was trying to get started and kind of be a rival to Monster Jam. And one of their biggest rules were you can't have any of the other leagues or competitors decals on your truck. So if it was a truck that ran in Monster Jam, you couldn't have the Monster Jam logo on the body, or whatever it may be. And I feel like that might be one of their biggest hurdles, because they don't want to. Monster Jam isn't going to want to promote a competitor. They're not going to want to promote, hey, we have this truck here, but they also run for this truck, so go check them out. They're not going to want to do that. And I feel like that's what might make the independents not want to be involved, because you're telling them to leave their show, what's the proper term for this? I don't want to say their bread and butter, but their home per se. They're leaving their home behind and forgetting about their home to come over here, and I feel like that's where a lot of the issues may come. But I mean, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we could see it in the future. It'll definitely be a great thing for the sport, but also for the fans.
I would like to see Bounty Hunter come back.
Oh,
honestly.
absolutely.
I think he would benefit with that new chassis. I think he could benefit on a lot of these new race tracks that they got going. I mean, the paperclip, I think he would benefit from it, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I'm not a big fan of the paperclip. I don't like some of the racing styles, but I'm glad they're introducing new things to the racing. Like at this year's World Finals, I wish I would have got to go to that. That was sick.
Oh, yeah.
I really hope they start using that more often. I think it could be a actual racing event type thing. I mean, it was awesome watching an independent win World Finals racing.
Yeah,
that was sick. I mean, I was ecstatic for Zach Gardner. I was like, that's crazy. I mean, he's a young kid,
mm-hmm.
and just comes out and whoops all Monster Jam. Has been doing this for a while, and I'm like, dude, that moves mountains, not just stumps. That moves mountains.
And it was really shocking. Dang. I mean, out of all the trucks, I definitely did not have him on my radar. And
no, me neither, honestly.
And to see him come out and do that, I mean, it was incredible. But who was it that was it Velociraptor that came in, and he almost made it too. I mean, he made it to the semifinals, I believe, or something. He was close.
Yeah, he was at the semis.
Yeah, I mean, he was killing it too.
It's right there. That shows because he runs for Throttle Monsters. Team Throttle Monsters. So that shows right there that independents can come in and make a statement against the big time people that have been doing it forever and haven't won a championship. And these guys come in and almost steal it away from Monster Jam. It's like, what the heck just happened?
Yeah.
It was like everybody all of a sudden like, bam! Here comes independent thing, which is cool. I mean, I am all for it, and I'm really, really glad that they did allow them to go to Monster Jam. That was a good thing.
No, yeah, for sure. And I mean, I get to see a wild side here in Houston, in a few weeks. Well, really a month. And I want to say, I forget his name, even though you just said it, but the driver of Velociraptor. I've seen him. I saw him earlier this year, but he didn't run the Velociraptor body. He run the Rod Ryan show. It's a rock station here in Houston, and I'm not a huge fan of it. It's a lot of the same music, 100 times a day. And it's, I just, every time Monster Jam comes, they have to put their truck in the show, and it always takes away from one of the drivers. It always replaces one of their bodies. And I don't know, I don't like it because that was the first time I was going to be able to see Velociraptor in person, and I missed it because they put that body on the truck. So, it's not the best. I think here in October for the Houston show, it's Monster Mutt that's going to be running the Rod Ryan show body, so I'm not too worried about it because it's Monster Mutt. Seen him a million times, but I believe isn't Vendetta a part of that? I
believe he is. Team? Yeah, because that's with Chris Kohler. I believe is driving the Rod Ryan show this year.
Yeah, and obviously Jim is in Avenger. It's Mike. What's his name?
Mike
Christensen, I believe. Yeah. Something like that. But yeah, he's in Vendetta, and I mean he's a hell of a driver too. He put down a hell of a run, a freestyle run earlier this year. I think he was close to winning freestyle. So I mean all of them are just amazing drivers, and I'm glad I get to see some of them here in person here pretty soon that I haven't seen yet. But like you said, it brings tons of attention to the independent league, and definitely shows that, hey, just because we're not in Monster Jam doesn't mean we don't know how to drive.
Exactly.
So a huge statement, and looking forward to see what other independents we get and what other kind of feats that they can accomplish. Who's that other one that he drives Terminal Velocity? Darn, what's his name? His dad drives as well. Zimmer.
Oh, Zimmer. Yeah.
Was it John Zimmer? John Zimmer Jr.
John Zimmer Jr. Yeah.
Yeah, he's returning to Monster Jam this season after taking last season off. And I know the season before that, I feel like he was pretty upset that he didn't win the Skills Championship. And honestly, I feel like he should have deserved it. I believe it was in Tennessee. That definitely should have gone to him. I feel like fan judging had a lot to do with him losing.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not a big fan of the fan judging.
I hate it, and I don't think anybody is a fan of it. I think everybody hates it equally. I feel like that's what really ruined his chances of winning. Because I forget, was it Gravedigger that won that year? Maybe.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think back, which it wouldn't be surprising at this point, but I feel like he got really cheated that World Finals, and it's pretty obvious, and I feel like everyone would agree that it was definitely fan judging that took a part of that, because they were probably like, who is this guy? Why,
Yeah.
It is what it is. Unfortunately, it's something that a big issue that we face with Monster Jam, but hopefully this season he can turn things around and come out on top with the championship, because I've seen clips of him running the independent leagues, and he's a really good driver as well.
He's destroying that independent team.
He is a great driver, so I'm really looking forward to see what he brings this season, and really for future seasons to come. But we'll move on to the next question here, and I feel like we've kind of touched on this already, but I'll ask again. How has being a fan really influenced your life or hobbies? And like I said, we kind of touched on this with the whole Beamng thing, but I mean, is there anything past that, or has it just been Beam?
Well, in my honestly, I am a people pleaser. I like to make sure people are happy, and stuff. So when I do the skins for Beamng and people like it, it makes me feel good. It means I'm making them smile and I'm making them happy. It's a lot. That's a lot of it, to be honest, because I don't like to see people upset. I don't like to see people get down. I know it's just a bad time in the economy right now, but I like to see people have a good time and be happy.
For sure.
Go without their day without being down and depressed. I mean, I'm dealing with that myself, but that's a different topic for another day. But that's basically the whole root behind everything. Is I'm a people pleaser. I like to make sure everyone's happy.
No, for sure. And honestly, I'm the same way. And we won't touch too much on the topic just because we want to avoid any kind of conversation towards that. But you mentioned the economy being horrible right now and just a lot of things not going well in everyday life. So being able to do stuff like this and pick people up and get them excited, get them happy, it's honestly great. And I've had my moments where I've been down and out, and someone will come and comment on a video or something and saying how great it is, or how they look forward to the next one, or how they enjoyed it. It's such a great feeling, being able to create something and have others enjoy it and praise it. And you constantly mention the appreciation of praise that I give you and others give you for the designs that you make and stuff. And I mean, dude, it's what you do is just it's awesome, to say the least. I mean, I've seen customs before, but I mean, these are just insane. And like I said, I'll try to put a few up for those watching on YouTube, and going through a few here. Just I can't get over some of these. Like I don't know the names of these, and I don't know what you call them, but a couple that I've always pointed out to you have been it's an older body. It looks like a Chevy grill, an old Chevy grill, full cab, 4-door. You did a black one and a white one. It says Traxxas on the side with the 2 LED lights coming out the back end of the truck. That's
the white out and black out of Traxxas.
Yes,
yeah, that's the Team Traxxas.
Those right there those stand out the most to me. Honestly, those have to be some of my favorites out of the ones you do, or of the ones you've done. And like here recently, you shared the mini low-C trucks that looks like the body style that what's his name used. Who was the guy with the beard, with the diesel truck?
Brodozer.
Yes, the Brodozer body. And but those stand out to me a lot. And like I said, the one with the red is giving me huge Metal Militia vibes, and that was one of my favorites when that truck was running. But again, I mean, not to take away from any of the other ones you make, those just stick out to me the most. Obviously the Project Rod sponsored truck. But I mean, just all of these trucks, I mean, I haven't found one yet that I'm just like, he kind of missed on this one. I mean, they're all amazing. And again, the runs that you do, the freestyles that you do, and all the tricks you do, fantastic. And I don't know, I mean, what you're doing is great. And you say you're a people pleaser and you want everyone, you want to make people happy and stuff. And I mean, I can at least say for sure, you're making me happy. You're pleasing me. These are amazing. And I don't want you to stop. And I'm sure there's others out there who agree. And, for those of you listening, if you want to, aside from whatever's on here, whatever I'm going to put on YouTube, throughout this clip or throughout this episode, check them out. Again, Instagram, TikTok. I know you post a lot of your clips on TikTok. I do a few on mine whenever I get a chance and whenever I remember. But for TikTok, it's at Tripp with 2 P's, TRIPP _racing _motorsports. That's on TikTok. And Instagram is Tripp _racing. Again, Tripp with 2 P's, TRIPP _racing. Check them out. Show them some love, guys. This stuff is amazing. And I'm gonna throw in a little, mostly because I always say it when I throw in my W plug, but I wouldn't promote it if I didn't trust it, if I didn't believe in it. And again, this guy is amazing. But I guess to move on, using this to move on to one of the final questions I have here. If you could create, out of all the trucks you've created, and you may have not even made this one yet, But if you could create your own that you could actually run in real life, be it Monster Jam Independence, whatever it may be, what would it look like, and what would you name it?
Man, I've never been asked that question before. Man,
it's a tough one.
That kind of got me there for a minute. I ain't gonna lie. I think the body style would definitely have to be the K10 quad cab. I love that body style.
Yeah,
that's just. I know people say it's ugly. I don't care what people say anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore because honestly, at the end of the day, it's my design, not theirs.
Exactly.
So honestly, I have to say the rigid the rigid truck I did, the orange one, Traxxas Rigid.
Oh.
I think that one would probably be one that I would make.
Is it does it have like that honeycomb kind of?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I'm looking at it right now. I think I'm looking at the right one. Yeah, it's orange and black.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, I'm looking at it right now. Again, for those watching on YouTube, I'm going to try to be sure I put these in here so you can get a good visual. But again, you can check out my Discord. All of it's on there. The Beamng channel just about belongs to Tripp over here because he's constantly posting stuff. And it's always great. But again, check out his socials. You'll see a lot of them there. But that is a good one. And yeah, I really like that body style too. It's a good one.
Yeah, that body style just sings to me all the time. It's like, man,
yeah.
I keep going back to it and I reuse it a lot. And you know, I have negative people that do negatively comment on my stuff, and I'm just like, okay. I'm not going to change your guys' opinions. I do what I do, but I do take constructive criticism every now and then, and sometimes it's a little rough, and I'm like, okay, guys, that's a little much, but
well, you know,
at the end of the day, it's just a game, and I'm not going to lose any sleep over it.
Yeah, and you know, at the end of the day, too, something that you end up, and I'm sure you know already, you can't please everybody. There's always going to be somebody upset at what you do, and you know, I don't know if you're familiar with Matt or if you've spoken with Matt before, but he's the one running that Heavy Metal Monsters League for Showdown, for Monster Jam Showdown. You know, he's starting off, and this is going to be his first time running his own league, and you know, doing a YouTube channel and all that with Monster Jam. And I mean, it's not the easiest thing to do. You know, he's had his struggles, and I'm always right there, like, no, like, you know, you got this. You can't please everyone. You know, you're gonna have to deal with this. You're gonna have to deal with that. And it could be very frustrating sometimes. I've dealt with a lot of criticism, constructive criticism, complaints, unhappy people. And it is what it is. It comes with the territory. You can't take it personal. You just have to realize, you know, you can't please everybody, unfortunately. And you know, it is what it is. And that really goes for anybody listening. Don't be so hard on yourself. You know, you're not going to please everyone. Everyone's always going to have something to say. So, I mean, at the end of the day, whatever makes you happy makes you happy. And if you feel pretty confident in what you do and pretty happy with what you do, then that's really all that matters. And I promise you're going to find somebody out there who's gonna tell you otherwise, and really kind of build you up from there. Because, like I've said, I haven't found a single truck yet that I'm like, oh man, like that's not it. Like he missed the mark, or oh, I wouldn't have done that. I mean, every single one that you've sent in is fantastic, and I have nothing negative to say, or anything to, like, any kind of comment to say, oh, you should have done this, it would have been better. Like, they're all fantastic.
Well, I appreciate that, and to be honest with you, all my designs, they are just bam. I get a random thought in my head. I think this would look good. I think that would look good. I try to base it as much as I can off the RC designs.
Yeah.
Because I am all about the RC truck scene. I've been wanting one my whole life. Wanted a gas powered one, or one of those alcohol fueled ones.
Yeah.
I mean, now there's the LMTs and stuff like that. I want to get one of them because eventually I'm gonna have someone scan one and put my truck on one of them if I ever get one. Oh. And that's just my thing.
That would be sick.
I don't steal anything from anybody. My ideas are all thought processed. Yeah. I look at it and I'm like, damn, this is what I want.
Yeah.
And it's wild that some of it actually just looks really well, and I'm like, man, that turned out a lot better than I thought it was going to. You know, I mean, it's a lot of it's trial and error too. I mean, I've had days where I go without posting something, and it's fine. I mean, you don't want to always be posting something. I mean, unless you're just that good. And I mean, I have my days. Everyone has their days. And
yeah.
I see some of these guys on Beam Monsters that are like, I'm like, man, I am nowhere near their level, and they're crazy good. But
I don't know. You might give them a run for their money, because I've seen how you can drive, and I've seen what you can create, and I don't know. I feel like I could say the opposite, and I feel like, you know, they don't really have much to you, you know?
I'll be honest, my driving is all practiced. I've practiced. I've got over 1,000+ hours of Beam, and it's been a long road with doing a lot of my stuff. Like when I was hardcore into putting stuff out on TikTok and stuff for a while, it took me hours to get the perfect video going, because sometimes I'd be doing really good, then all of a sudden it'd break, and I'm like, man, I don't like that.
Man.
I mean, maybe I like to try to run it a whole 2 minutes, you know.
Yeah, that's always been my biggest thing, is I got it going. At least I feel like I got it going. I feel like I got a good run going, good saves, good tricks, and then boom, you know, freaking tire breaks off, or the 4-link bar snaps. Now I have no steering, or just something, you know, the shock tower decides to just completely collapse, and I'm just like, dude, I'm only like a minute in. Come on. It's so frustrating. Right. But yeah, no, I don't know if I'll ever get to that kind of level, because I feel like I'm pretty basic with my runs, and I try my best, but man, it can be so frustrating sometimes when you just can't get that run going, no matter what you do, and you're just going and going and going and going until you're finally like, you know what, this is fine. This is good enough. I'm just gonna put this one out. So I feel that. It's definitely a lot of trial and error, and Beam can be a very what's the word? It could humble you very quickly.
Definitely.
So, but I'm sliding through some of these pictures. I made sure to save some, so I had some for reference. And I mean, even like the LED lighting and stuff on all of this, and it's just, dude, I don't know. You're just the things that you can do with these trucks are just amazing, and all that practice that you've put in is it's showing.
I honestly can't. I can tell you, I could not do what I do without the person that actually put it in game for me, which would be Game Boy. He did a lot of my LED work, like to put the lights on the chassis. I don't know anything about doing anything like that yet. I'm learning it, but he was the #1 person that put my chassis in game and made my dreams come true, basically, with having my own chassis. So I will give a shout out to Game Boy. The dude's phenomenal. I mean, hands down, probably the best person around to talk to, and besides yourself. And he's another human being, man. I just can't put into words what he does. He does amazing work.
And see, at the end of the day, that's all it comes down to, is really just community. You know, where we all share the same hobbies, we all share the same interests, and just being able to lean on each other and rely on each other and help each other. That just it goes a long way. And at the end of the day, that's kind of the main goal with all of this, is just bringing more people to the community, bringing everyone together, and just growing and picking everybody up. And like I said, you know, I've been helping Matt Johnson a lot with Heavy Metal Monsters, you know, get his thing going. I just happen to, you know, I follow a few pages on Facebook for Monster Jam, Monster Trucks, the diecast pages and stuff. And he happened to put up a post about you know, wanting to start a league for Monster Jam Showdown and everything, and I was like, hey, like, you know, I have a league, and you know, we just started messaging each other from there, and you know, ever since then, it's kind of just, you know, I don't want to say it's blown up, but like it's really, you know, he's gotten a lot of attention from it, and you know, he's doing pretty well. So again, it's just stuff like that, just picking each other up and helping each other out. And you know, I know you've asked for some pointers as well on some of your stuff, and you know, again, I'm always happy to help. I'm always here for any questions you have. I'm still working, and I'm still kind of developing my own stuff and figuring everything out myself, but helping any way I can, you know, that's what I'm here for. And you know, I'd love to see you thrive even more on your end if you were to go and start running your own things, and running your channel and doing your own videos. And I feel like you have very much potential to do that. So just keep at it, man. No, for sure.
I appreciate it, but appreciate you letting me have me on the show today too.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Again, I'm glad to have you. I know we've been talking about this for a little while, and it's we should have done this a while back. But it's good to finally have you on, and keep at it, man. And there was something else I was gonna say. I've been losing my train of thought pretty bad today. I guess while I do what.
It's still pretty early, so I understand.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I had a bit of a late night last night. I stayed up watching a baseball game, and then I fell asleep on the couch. I woke up, decided to play a little bit of Mario Party for some reason right before bed, and I ended up going to bed super late, and I woke up really late. So I'm still kind of getting everything together. But here we are. We're getting it done, and I guess. Oh, you know what? I was gonna ask you. So you don't have, you were talking about the RC car, the RC cars and all that, and the one thing I've always wanted to ask too was because you put Traxxas on your trucks, you put Losi on your trucks. You did mention that you don't have one, but so you don't have any at all. That was really one of my questions, was if you had one. I feel like you kind of answered that, but. You don't have any at all? You're not experienced with them at all?
No, I mean, when I was a kid, I used to have them, but like little battery powered ones, and they were like the little Walmart cheapies, which is fine. But I don't have any right now. No. Yeah,
it's definitely something that I want to get into myself, and it's definitely a hard one to convince the wife to let me fund. It could be a very expensive hobby.
I feel that I love my wife, but she's got good ideas sometimes about not spending money. So.
I mean, don't get me wrong. She gives me all the support in the world with everything that I do on this channel and all the other things that I want to buy and stuff to add to the channel. But, we went to a Monster Jam show earlier this year, and they're bringing out the Losi trucks. And I'm like, oh man, I want one so bad. And she said, well, how much is it? Maybe we can get it. And then I looked it up. She's like, maybe not. I was like, well, I tried.
They're all gung ho until they see the price tag.
Exactly. So maybe one day we'll get there.
Maybe.
But I did find a pretty decent alternative on Amazon. It's a battery powered. It's not the biggest thing in the world. It's pretty decent, and I can try to share a picture of it on the Discord at least. I think I got it on like an Amazon sale, and it was like $50. And I mean, this thing hauls. I mean, I'd say that I forget the exact miles per hour that it can reach, but I mean, it's pretty good. It's a fast little thing, and I'll take it out every now and then and just run it in the field next to us, or like run it up and down the street, or I'll make like jumps for it. There's a tree in our backyard that has like the perfect angle to get like a backflip off of. And
nice.
I've broken it a couple times already. Luckily, Amazon is very, very not helpful, but they're pretty lenient with their return policy and all that. So I've already replaced a few, but definitely a cool one to check out if you just want to get like a good taste of what those other ones are like. But I'm sure it doesn't hold a candle to what those Traxxas and Losi trucks can do. But definitely a very interesting one. But I mean, that I feel like that's pretty much all I got for now, unless there's anything that you want to add or anything you want to ask, or if you have any questions for me.
No, I'm pretty good. I just want to say thank you for having me on here, and thanks for all the support you have done, and thank you for allowing me to make videos and be a part of your YouTube video thing. And I appreciate it. I can't wait to see the second video. I was stoked about the first video. I was like, man, that's sick. So I can't wait for the second one. I know it's gonna be sick too. So
yeah, man, I'm excited. I wasn't sure how the first one. I was just a little nervous because I've never done commentary for those. It's easy for the league because I can say, this driver and that driver, and then back in this stop he did this, and back in that stop they did that. And this one I had just a blank slate of like, I don't know, I have no background unless I create like a fake, back in this event they did this or whatever. So it was kind of tough for me to figure that out. But no, it worked out. It was a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to this next one and what the other ones, what other ones we have coming in the future. I did have someone reach out to me on TikTok, of all places, wanting to be a part of it as well, and I'm kind of still waiting on their response. I told them, they said they joined the Discord. I still haven't figured out who they are yet, but hopefully we can get them involved, and then at that point, we'll probably go from 4 trucks to 3 each.
Nice.
So, but I mean, whatever works. At the end of the day, if we could have 12, then we'll have 12, and it'll just make it that much more fun. So yeah, looking forward to the future. And again, dude, I appreciate you being on here. Appreciate you making time, and again, appreciate and love what you do. Keep doing it. You're just awesome all the way around. Again, to everybody, be sure to check him out, check his socials out. Again, TikTok is Tripp_Racing_Motorsports. Tripp with 2 P's, TRIPP. And then again on Instagram, it's Tripp_Racing. Again, Tripp with 2 P's. Be sure to check them out. And I don't know, hopefully we could see a YouTube channel coming out pretty soon. We'll see. We can have
maybe cross your fingers, maybe.
we can talk about that behind the scenes, but hopefully we can see that. Hopefully we can see that coming up. But again, Tripp, it's been a fun time, and again, thanks for joining, man.
Yeah, not a problem. Thank you.
All right, so that concludes our conversation with Tripp Racing. Again, an amazing guy and a very talented Beam driver and skin designer. Again, show him some love. I said it once and I'll say it again. Check out his Instagram. Check out his TikTok. TikTok is Tripp_Racing_Motorsports. Again, Tripp with 2 P's. And then on Instagram, Tripp_Racing. Again, Tripp with 2 P's. Be sure to check him out. Show him some love. He has some amazing stuff, guys. An amazing driver, amazing skin designer. And he's constantly posting on my Discord as well, so be sure to check out my Discord. And again, that Beamng channel belongs to Tripp because he's the one constantly posting on there, and he has some amazing stuff. So again, huge shout out to him. Glad to finally have him on the show, and looking forward to see if we can have him in future shows and future projects. Again, we have a video coming out here pretty soon. Another collaboration video with him and Angel Garcia, another pretty good, pretty talented Beamng driver. So looking forward to that, and just keep an eye out for that. If I can get editing and everything done here pretty quickly, we can have that out this week. So again, huge shout out to Tripp and Angel for helping me out on that collaboration. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for today. I don't have a comment question of the day, guys. Come on, let me have them. Give me something, so that way I can answer it and get your feedback on it as well. So with that, I'll end it with a comment question for you, which is, out of all the Monster Jam World Finals events, which one would you say is your favorite or the best World Finals event? Let me know down below in the comment section. And again, be sure to check out my Instagram, my TikTok, Project Rod, as well as YouTube. You're probably already on here. I don't know why I said that. But again, be sure to check that out. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know your feedback. Let me know what you guys think. And I'm Project Rod, and I'll see you in the next one.